Lil Nas X is one of the greatest marketers of our time. Going from being a random kid running a Nicki Minaj stan account on Twitter to dropping a half-joking country song about riding a horse and having it become one of the most commercially successful songs of all time is truly an insane life path. And that was just the beginning of his career. He went on to drop a debut album that proved he wasn't a flash in the pan, securing 2 more #1 singles with Montero, Call Me By Your Name, and Industry Baby with Jack Harlow. These songs are good. No doubt, there's a reason why they were able to become so huge. People had to enjoy the music. But the biggest driving force behind Lil Nas X is his uncanny ability to sell whatever it is he's selling. Like a true marketer, he knows how to take real pieces of his life and put it into his art, and package that art in a palatable and attention-grabbing way. There is a nuance between being attention-grabbing and attention-seeking, though. And to some, Lil Nas X would find himself in the latter category. He's been caught up in some controversies around the marketing tactics he's used in the past, and the one he cooked up in the past week might be the furthest he's pushed the boundaries. Last Monday, he announced he was dropping a comeback single. Calling your song a comeback when your last release was in September 2022 is honestly pretty hilarious, but also, like, in today's attention economy, is he even that wrong? Artists are being asked to consistently drop music and content, so taking a little over a year does kind of justify as a comeback for someone as big as him. However, he's definitely trying to be funny by calling it a comeback. In comparison, Ariana Grande also dropped her comeback single on Friday, and her last big release, besides features and stuff, was in late 2020. That's a little closer to being a full-fledged comeback single to me. Of course, calling it a comeback is not the controversial part. Lil Nas X said he was inspired by the greatest comeback of all time, that of Jesus Christ. For those who don't know the story somehow, Christians believe that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and the story of his life is the foundation for the New Testament in the Bible and the whole religion of Christianity. The song is called J Christ, but he didn't stop there. He also dropped a teaser video of him up on the cross just like Jesus Christ was, and then the cross transforms like Optimus Prime in this kind of super high production value GIF. No one is denying that the GIF isn't sick, but a lot of people are really pissed off. I want to do a quick disclaimer. I am not here to disrespect the Christian faith in this video. I was baptized Christian in the Greek Orthodox Church, although I didn't really spend much of my childhood going there. I definitely don't consider myself to be a practicing Christian, so I'm no expert on religion, and if I do make any mistakes in this video, please correct me and let me know where I'm wrong, because I'm totally happy to learn. I made this channel to talk about music. Music takes you a lot of places that you don't necessarily expect to be talking about. This is one of them. But again, though, I want to be accountable. So please let me know if I say anything stupid. I'm going to try my best to be as respectful as possible. So let's get back to the video. This is not Lil Nas X's first rodeo. See what I did there? When it comes to brushing up against Christianity. In the music video for his song Montero, he gives a lap dance to Satan and then kills him and becomes like the new king of hell or something like that. This caused a huge uproar when it first came out, and fuel was added to the hellfire when Lil Nas partnered with a company called Mischief, a brand known for making unique and controversial items, to make the Satan shoes. You might not know that Mischief is also the company that made the big red boots, so they're true to this, not new to this. So the Satan shoes were a custom Nike Air Max 97, all black with red accents, with a little gold pentagram on the laces. And most controversially, the shoes were produced with 1 drop of human blood each. And of course, they made 666 pairs. People lost their minds at this, Nike included. They sued and they won, and Mischief was required to offer refunds to anybody who purchased them. They were also over $1,000 at retail. If you want a pair though, there is a size 10 available on eBay right now for $1,000. That's actually my size, and since I just got monetized on YouTube, thank you guys by the way for that. I really appreciate that. It might be me copping those shoes, man. Don't forget to leave me a like and a subscribe so that I can afford it. So I'm not sure if Lil Nas X expected it to be as controversial as it was when he first released it in 2021. I think he knew it would ruffle some feathers, but he made it all the way to Fox News, and he had people like Candace Owens losing their minds about it in public. Anytime an artist does something involving the devil, people are gonna say something about it. Doja Cat also got a lot of heat last year for her video for her song Demons, where she dressed up as a demon. Devil worship fear-mongering has been around in music since our parents and maybe even your parents' parents, depending on how young you are, when people would play Led Zeppelin records backwards and think that it was devil speak. So doing anything involving the devil or religion is a great way to just make sure you get some attention with your release. This is called outrage marketing. But of course, what you do with that attention is going to make or break your outrage marketing strategy. Back in 2021, the Montero Call Me By Your Name rollout worked really well because the song is fire. It's really well written, super catchy, but this is a high risk, high reward strategy. If you do something like this and you don't win people over with the attention they've given you, you run the risk of alienating a lot of people. Whether it's gonna work for J. Christ, I think is open to interpretation right now. The initial response has been, Kai Cenat was very angry about it. A lot of other people defended it, which we'll talk about a little bit later. As for the song, the reaction I'm seeing most on the internet is, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's definitely not a smash hit immediately like Montero or Industry Baby. It's catchy, but it's not his catchiest. And I would be kind of surprised if it ends up going #1, especially for longer than a week. That doesn't mean it's automatically a flop or it's terrible though, and I'm really not trying to be like a hater or a critic. I'm more talking about the strategy than the song itself. However, I do think those two things are intertwined, and there's really no way around that. Interestingly enough, there also isn't a moment in this video, to me, the actual music video, not the teaser, that's nearly as controversial as the Satan lap dance thing. Satan actually does make a return, and he's wearing the Satan shoes, which is a funny little callback. And then Lil Nas X hits him with the Allen Iverson crossover and dunks on him on the court. And yeah, there is a moment where Lil Nas is on the cross like Jesus Christ, just like he was in the promo, but we already saw that before the video. Also, to be clear, Lil Nas X is far from the first artist to put himself on the cross like Jesus Christ. The cover for Tupac's album, The Don Illuminati, which is one of his most popular albums, has him depicted on the cross. Also, Nas, like Nas, like the original Nas, not Lil Nas X, was on the cross for the video for his song Hate Me Now. Interestingly enough, that video had a whole different controversy involving the cross. The original version of the video had Diddy on the cross as well, but Diddy, who is apparently a Catholic, was very angry at that, and he told them not to put it in the final video. And then it was either a mistake or someone really wanted to piss him off, but they left it in the video and then it premiered on TRL. He got so mad that he walked into Nas's manager's office and allegedly hit him over the head with a champagne bottle. So Lil Nas X goes on in this video to depict himself as Noah, another biblical character, as the world falls and is succumbing to natural disasters. The video is mostly a lot of dancing. It's definitely a high production video. Lil Nas's fits are insane. The choreography is great. There are some cool cameos in there that I won't spoil, but it mostly seems like he took the part that he knew would create the most controversy, posted about that, and all of that attention led to a video that is basically the Lil Nas X music video. With Call Me By Your Name, it felt like there was a deeper meaning there. Even in the song's title, which is a reference to a movie about a gay relationship, Lil Nas was playing with the idea that his kind of love is a sin. With J. Christ, the song is just kind of like, I'm back, I guess. Even before the song dropped, a lot of people were talking about how sick they were of this outrage marketing strategy. And it's understandable. We are constantly being sold things in 2024. So that always bristles people the wrong way a little bit. But a hardcore sell of something that a lot of people find reprehensible really takes that to the next level. What really interested me about the J. Christ rollout is, at least on my timelines and my algorithms, a lot of the things that I saw people saying weren't necessarily like, oh, I'm offended. They were mostly like, I'm not offended at this reference to Christianity, but this is obviously an attention grab and I'm sick of outrage marketing. And at first, to be honest, that was kind of my gut reaction as well. It's like, oh man, here comes another Lil Nas X song. How is he going to offend some easily offended group to get the attention that he needs? But I want to throw him some slack, because I went over to his page the day before it dropped and I started to see what could be a deeper purpose here. He's definitely trying to sell something, let's be clear. But I do think there's something else going on. There's another message that he's trying to show us. The day after he announced the song, he posted a presumably fake acceptance letter from Liberty University, where he claimed he would be going in the fall to pursue a dual concentration in Christian leadership and biblical studies. Liberty University does have an acceptance rate of 99%, so if he did apply, I bet he would get in. If you're unfamiliar with Liberty University, let's take a quick look. It's a Christian college in Virginia. When you matriculate as a student at Liberty University, you have to sign a contract, a code of conduct, called the Liberty Way. In this document, one of the forbidden behaviors is any kind of sexual relations outside of a biblically ordained marriage between a natural-born man and a natural-born woman. Not every Christian thinks like this. In fact, in December, Pope Francis, the leader of the Catholic Church and arguably the most important living human in Christianity, approved blessings for same-sex couples. Many people in Christianity interpret the Bible in different ways. Some take the message of kindness and love thy neighbor to heart, and they set out to be people who help make other people's lives better. And in that, some of them find acceptance for LGBTQ+ people. Some also choose to mind their own business, and others use the Bible as an excuse to persecute others. So where does the founder of Liberty University, Jerry Falwell find himself on that spectrum? In the 1980s, in the middle of the AIDS crisis, which disproportionately affected the gay community, he claimed that AIDS is not just God's punishment for homosexuals. It is God's punishment for the society that tolerates homosexuals. That's pretty judgmental. Do you think Jerry Falwell held his own family to the same standard? The story of his son, Jerry Falwell Jr., would say otherwise. In 2020, a story broke out that his wife was having an affair with a younger pool boy. Now, adultery is not permitted according to the Bible, but this doesn't mean that Jerry Falwell Jr. approved of it. Wait, he what? The guy alleged that Jerry Jr. loved to watch it happen in the room. Now, I don't use this channel to kink shame. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If everybody in the room is consenting, have a blast. But I do want to point out the hypocrisy between policing consensual sexual relationships at the college you're in charge of, and then doing all the behaviors that you ban in your own life. This is only the tip of the iceberg for the Falwells and Liberty University. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, have a blast. These people are getting filthy rich off pushing what they claim is a Christian ideology, but they aren't actually practicing it in their real lives. So Lil Nas X might not just be parodying Christianity, he may be trying to point out the hypocrisy that some of the highest ranking people in the religion participate in every day. After he dropped a video of himself running through jello shots that were meant to be the blood of Christ and wolfing down the communion crackers that are supposed to be the body of Christ, he retweeted an account saying, "I'ma be honest. The way y'all post drugs, money, corn, and curse all day on this app, I never knew y'all were even a speck of Christian until Lil Nas X messed up them plate of communion crackers." The point here is that a lot of people are only Christian when it comes time to judge others, and perhaps are not living very Christ-like in their daily lives. I don't think it's a coincidence that there's a Kanye West lookalike in this music video either. He may be the premier celebrity poster boy for that contradiction. Even think back on that Diddy situation I was talking about in the Hate Me Now video. Diddy was so offended he was on a cross, and he is clearly not living with Christian principles, given all the stuff he was just accused of a couple months ago. That smells like hypocrisy to me. Is this the point of what Lil Nas X was trying to say? I can't put words in his mouth. But if you wanted a more positive reading of the attention he's been trying to grab, this might be it. Who knows? Lil Nas X is not the first person to use outrage marketing or shock value tactics to sell something. There is a long lineage of artists who have done the same thing. Some of them that I personally got to witness growing up were Eminem and then Odd Future with Tyler the Creator and Earl Sweatshirt. There are, of course, so many other examples, but when it comes to people who were doing it on a really large scale and getting national and international attention for their antics, that's who comes to mind. There is no doubt in my mind that shock value and outrage marketing, combined with their obvious, innate, musical talent, help springboard all three of those artists I just mentioned. However, one through line that you can see between Eminem, Earl Sweatshirt, and Tyler the Creator is that they've all matured over their career. That's really the reason that all three of them are relevant today. In fact, the shock value, outrage marketing stuff helps you create this narrative once you do decide to start growing up. When Eminem released heartwarming songs about his daughter like When I'm Gone or Mockingbird, it helped bridge his career into a more mature phase and start winning over some of the people that he used to discuss. People were like, wow, I knew him as this crass, vulgar, cartoonishly violent, and silly rapper, and now he's tugging at my heartstrings, doing songs with Pink. Tyler the Creator went from eating cockroaches using the F slur, the R slur, probably some other slurs, and being banned from the country of New Zealand, to dropping Wes Anderson coded clothing lines, his own perfume and nail polish, doing music for The Grinch, and being open and honest about his sexuality, and pushing an overall message of be yourself and be creative. Earl's original lyrics were so nasty that they got him sent to boarding school, but now he's settled into fatherhood and established a firm place in alternative underground hip-hop as a poetic, mature, and reflective guy. Getting to watch the journey of these three artists in real time, I recognize the value that their roots in outraged marketing played in their path forward. Shock value is one of the greatest ways to get a bunch of eyes on you, but then you've got to drop actually good music. Once you do that, you're moved into this controversial status where people either love you or hate you or are repulsed by you. And then you slowly mature in the public light, and most likely in real life as well, and you start to move some of those angrier people to seeing you in a more positive light. And you develop this narrative as someone who has grown up right in front of us all. People are attached to stories like that. That's the long-term, tried and true roadmap for staying relevant as someone who participates in the outrage marketing side of the world. I say all this to wonder what's next for Lil Nas X. Looking under the hood, shows us that his cause could be a little bit more righteous than it's actually coming off as. He is highlighting the hypocrisy in our society and the holier than thou, no pun intended, attitude that people like Jerry Falwell are symbolic of. Is that on purpose or by accident? Who knows? To me, it feels like that message right now is the secondary goal. And the first goal is to sell some shit, which I understand, but it does water down what could be a really positive message. And the issue is that for a lot of people, when something isn't presented super clearly, that message can go right over their heads. One thing I've learned about promoting my own music, although I've never really done anything like what he's doing, is that people don't generally pick up on nuance on the internet. The vast majority of people need to be told exactly what it is you're trying to communicate, or they just don't care and they really only see the headline anyway. So the message doesn't become Lil Nas X shows hypocrisy in society, it becomes Lil Nas X makes fun of and disrespects Christians, which is true. He did do that, but I don't know if that was the only thing he was trying to get across. You know? And then there's a group of people who do understand that nuance, but they're just so sick of watching this trick happen every time. We can see this fatigue happening in real time. It's not even a moral objection to what Lil Nas X is presenting. In fact, a lot of people who are tired of his shtick are just as tired of the people who complain about it. It's like, shut up, let's move this news cycle somewhere else. Can we? So where can Lil Nas X truly go from here? If he has to raise the stakes every single time he drops a song and generate even more outrage than the one before, you have to wonder if there's a ceiling on that kind of strategy. What can he really do next? Try out for the NFL? Have sex with Joe Biden on national television? I don't know why that came to me. If I had to guess, I think he will continue with the outrage marketing a little bit further past this song. He's just too good at it. He really is a master troll, a master poster. That is Lil Nas X. That is his skill. So to not do that would be silly. And he might not just be doing it for the sake of it. He might really be doing this to push a message. It's hard to say. The issue is that when he does do that, the marketing tactics take up so much of the story that a lot of people don't even get the message. At some point, enough will be enough. I don't think it's today. I don't even think it's this year. But whenever his time does come to mature, I hope we get to see another beautiful story of an artist growing in front of us rather than watching somebody burn out.